to do.
Yeah, see, so obviously James hasn't set up his OBS whatever template so he can easily turn on stream.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone, Rob. See, this is a lesson for everyone. I'm teaching people what not to do. You're welcome.
Yeah, yeah. That's a whole another subject. I'm trying to see if we missed any other questions real quick. I use ChatGPT. That's what Jopper said earlier, and then Adobe to resize and etc. And Blood Dragon says he uses Canva and InShot. I've never heard of InShot. I have to check that out. I have tried multiple different AI tools before um, for certain things. When I was doing the DMZ Red Rabbit thing for my characters in different moments, that one was good because I wrote, I think I wrote 3 prompts for that DMZ one for AI to remember. I wrote one for the character styling, one for the background styling, and then I wrote one on um, what would you call it? Just like the facial expression and positioning of the characters as well. What's up, DT? Detroit? Welcome in. Killer uses Chat GPT as well. I know. And Killer did that caricature one, got me all excited. So I had to do a caricature one too. I was like, heck yeah.
Yeah, I see one hander's been using his. They look good. I don't know if he's in the chat or not, but that one's been going good.
Yeah, you can pull this up, or we can take a look at his and some of the folks' channels. Check out their thumbnails and stuff. While you're checking out one handers, hit on his video, the video tab at the top, just the tab, so we can just see all
Gotcha.
videos or live streams. Right, his is live
Yeah, he
streams.
started doing it with his lives.
Yeah, some of his ones. Yeah, when we were talking to him, he was saying like, yeah, he was having trouble to get the AI to understand like, hey, he's only got one arm. So, but some of them he's figured out.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
that's what's pretty cool. I mean, to answer the question about thumbnails, like the sky's kind of the limit with what you can do as far as putting things together. And then that's where you can make it creative. How do you want to do it? You don't necessarily need to hire an artist, sort of say, to, you know, put something together for you or use your artistry skills. I mean, that's the advantages with AI now.
Yeah, I think just I mean that's for the background. I would just say, people focused on the text being readable, even though there's a title there. Um, a couple of words that's really big and bold and readable really helps.
So that's what's pretty cool. So kind of, let's see. We made a little
What
script.
else?
We made a little script for you guys. So we talked about personal goals. I mean, kind of talking about, you know, you talked about getting your views. You got to your goal of 250,000 likes or 250,000 views on your channel, which is big time right there. Um, you know, what is your goal? I guess like, do you want to be a live streamer? Do you just want to be a content creator, or both, Rob?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I'm just going to continue being content creator that streams every once in a while. I think we talked about this before. There's some people that do a good job on one side or the other, and then there's some people that do a good job at both. But I think I'm still learning and testing, right? I mean, even like some stuff I put out there. You mentioned about putting things out there like, hey, I would like to see this if I was looking at it. I was like, yeah, I mean, I look at it that way as well. But then I also look at things where like, hey, I'm gonna try this out, test it out, and just see what happens, right? Like just doing things like that as well, constantly different, um, and just trying to move the
A
needle
couple of
incrementally
words
as I
like, yeah, I
can.
mean,
I look at it that way as well.
see, and that's good right there. It's like, and that's why we're kind of bringing this up. Is just like, you want to have a goal for your channel, but also a goal for yourself. Um, what would you say if there was something you would say is your strength, I guess, versus your weaknesses right now with your channel, Rob? What would you say it would be?
I mean, I mean, I think my strength is, I mean, I don't think I'm like the best at it, right? I feel like I'm pretty decent, maybe a little bit above average when it comes to editing. Um, I've tried other tools or templates when it comes to editing. They didn't just work out, so I went back to doing it all from scratch now. And then I think my weakness, of course, is going to be streaming, because I think how you have to play as well as stream as well as engage with chat. There's people that do it really well and very seamlessly and effortless, right? I think that would be definitely my biggest weakness. And then my other weakness was trying to figure out what kind of like longer form content that I can do for that are several minutes long versus just focusing on shorts. And so that's what I've been trying to play with kind of lately is how can I create this process of doing a little bit longer form content about mainly my perspective on things, topic wise. I'm definitely not going to do any like rage baiting type of content. I'm not going to do those other kind of things. I might touch a little bit of my opinion on a topic. Like the fair play one that I just did right now was just, the topic of discussion about cheaters, and then, maybe offering a solution or idea, but just the perspective on it. I think just kind of sharing that and then where that takes me next as I evolve that process. But now those videos that I just started, those I thought was a big kind of a daunting task in kind of doing those. Now I've kind of created a process where I can probably make one of those videos within the hour and post it up.
Yeah, and that's kind of fascinating you say that because it's hard, right? Like we talked about a little bit, it's hard balancing like creating a long format video than it is doing like a short, right? Like, and as you get better, I know again we touched on a lot of this stuff before, but as you get better, you slowly get better at editing. Your speed and your process gets a little bit better. You have to find out what kind of works best for you, right? Like for me, I guess my strengths would be, I'm not that good of a player, but my strengths would kind of be, I enjoy the live stream. I've gotten better at that. But what I've been trying to work on is kind of more the editing, right? How can I take a clip and make it a little bit better of a montage? Like for those that are subscribed to my channel, it's like just been playing around with it this week because I'm not so much worried about like the subs and the subscribers and all that. I know some people go chasing that, but what I've been trying to do, it's like, work on montages a little bit, try to make it like more of hype videos. It's like, hey, what would I, want to see on my end? What could I do to kind of make it funny or tie something in there? But I think for me personally, I know we talked about goals and stuff. It's like, I try to make things that I would enjoy myself because if I'm just making stuff for the views and subs, I don't think you're going to enjoy what you do, right? It's like find a job you love, right? And then it doesn't feel like working. You want to find something that you're going to enjoy more than anything, right?
Yeah, 100%. And that's why like because like when I was thinking about um talking about the long form videos or longer form, I don't know how long I'll ever make them, but I was just looking at myself like when I was like Hannibal's stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like do I watch like the video itself actually like when it's happening? Like most of the time I do, but some of the times like I want to hear his perspective on a topic, and then I'll be doing like other things around the house or whatever it might be, or even if I'm at work, I'm like I'm more listening to it as a podcast, right, if you will, versus like actually watching um information go on the screen, because it's more about that perspective. And then so when he was doing his stuff, I was like, man, I was like, I want to share my perspectives on some topics, but like I don't have, like there's no way I would be able to do like what he's doing, but I'm like, at least like that portion of just sharing my perspective. Like, how can I make something where I could listen to it, see someone's perspective and approach on something, and then like consume the content, audible, right, versus visually. And so I've been on a personal journey for this start of this year was more on the audio side of things. And I think that's where when my 1 year mark comes into, I've told myself I'm going to invest into um, how to make my own like music, not using AI, right? But how to make like your whole entire track of music, even though how these people do like cinematic remixes and stuff, or how DJs make music. Like I think that's going to be my next 1 year goal is how to make music from scratch like that.
See, and I think that's like an awesome goal right there because that's unique in itself. It's almost an art form, especially without having to use AI with all the AI technology we have nowadays, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can use AI. I mean, of course, like I use it for some things right now, right? Like I use things of AI as just the raw tool in order for me to complete a task or something, to get things done. And it's my first version of whatever that is. But I've seen some of these like audio sound theory people, create stuff, and then you look at their timeline of this audio thing. It's like, holy crap! Like, where did they get all that, or how did they create all
Yeah.
that? But the thing that it does is, if you can understand the sound theory portion, you can then cut your video to be just like the best video that it can possibly be from an editing perspective. And then now your music or your sound, you can edit that on the fly without something that's already post production that you have to then force your video into. Does that make sense?
I think so. Does that make sense,
So
Rob?
then I guess so. I'm asking myself that too. I'm asking everybody, but I'm asking myself too. But yeah,
No,
no,
no, it
you
makes
like
sense.
because
Just
then
give you a
you
hard
can
time.
you get to edit sound to fit your video instead of the other way around that it is for myself and many of us today.
I mean, that's where the art form comes in, right? Where you have your uniqueness to a short. I was showing this one in the background. Your photography shorts that have been great. It kind of gives you a perspective of things. Where, you know, do you mind sharing what gave you
Well, this
the
one,
what the idea
yeah,
behind photography of Battlefield 6?
um, yeah. So, well, this one was different because this one was actually a test, and I think I put it in some of the comments as well. Okay, and so I just didn't know how I could make a series, which I have ideas already written down. Like I wanted to make a series to just capture moments in Battlefield that was outside of the gameplay fighting, right? Because there's no fight scenes that's going on right now, but it's happening all around me. And I think like those people that play Battlefield understand that, right? Like the environment of Battlefield isn't the one-on-one fighting, right? It's the world around you.
Yeah,
Like yeah, I mean, like this one here. I mean, yeah, a lot of the best photography, honestly, is the ones where I'm down. Like this one, like that one right there. Like when I saw it, I was like, "Holy crap, that's a cool scene of that guy like dangling right on top of the razor barbed wire. Like that's war right there in itself, right? And then
yeah.
this guy's coming to save him, and then he goes flying, right? He saves him, but then he gets blown up. I'm like, how much more of a battlefield moment do you get other than that? Like rezzing a guy and then you immediately dying. Like I think all of us know that. And then like he goes flying in the air. So it's like when those things happen in the game, because I mean, like, yeah, I focus on the game, try to win or try to do whatever, but like there's these moments in this game I'm like, holy crap, that's really cool. And then I'm like, if I think it's cool, I'm like, hey, does Ferdy or Killer or oh, old Phyllis is in here, hey, what's up? Like even James, like I'm like asking myself like, hey, do these guys think it's cool if I capture this moment and show it? And so like I've seen a couple of others, right, that did the battlefield photography and the way that they're doing it, and I was like, man, that's cool too. And I was like, well, how can I do it that's little bit different, a little bit of my own. So I've been trying to just like work on those kind of moments and capture them on film.
So would you say so you're saying you saw this on someone else's channel and then you just want to make it unique to
Yeah, like
Battlefield?
somebody like there's other Battlefield photographers out there.
Yeah.
And the one, I don't know, I can't remember his guy's name, but I saw it come across, and like he took a shot, and then like he did like the whole framing around it as well, not just so like he caught it, and then like he like froze the moment into like a giant piece of photography art. And I was like, oh, that's really beautiful. And then I was like, okay, well, what can I capture that same sort of feeling, but in a moment that's like ongoing, like back to back to back, right?
Yeah.
Versus a one-off freeze frame. Like this one here with the ghost, I'm just I was like, I'm dying. Oh yeah, you better like that thing. I was like, man,
I
I'm
thought I
dying.
did. I thought I know I saw it.
I was like, am I seeing ghosts?
Yeah. I was like, I know I saw this one.
Welcome in, Phyllis.
See,
no more caffeine.
see, I even commented on it. I guess I forgot to like it. My bad. My bad.
Yeah. Jeez Louise.
Damn, no support around here. There you go. I'll even like my own comments. I'll high five myself right there.
There you go. Yeah, and I mean, I know, like, we talk about other folks in chat, like, and this is what I like about like just gaming community itself is everyone has something that they see, play, or whatever, and like, and I know you're playing like Hell Divers, right? Really well, and stuff, and like Ferdy plays, like zombies, and yeah, like this one right here, I immediately knew when this happened right here, and then like that came in, I was like, look at this guy, who in the tank is like photo bombing. Yeah, when that one happened, I immediately knew I needed to save that one because I was just like, this is unreal.
Oh, look, there's my dead body right in front of the screen right there. But that's what's cool about this, right? I would have never noticed my dead body right there. I'm trying to RPG him. I guess he got all of us. That's funny. I've watched this a few times. I just never noticed. Oh, that's great right there. But it's cool. It's like thanks for sharing that, Rob. So kind of, it's good to figure out that inspiration, right? As far as like what you can do and where to put stuff together, right?
Yeah, and I mean, like a lot of us, it's like I think, I guess like I would say the easiest way, right? As we're talking about trying to be organized and all that. But I'm like, if you see something cool in the game or in that moment, I'm like, either jot down the time, like I think you said you do, right? Like when that happens as you're streaming.
Yeah.
Or I use instant replay. So for me, it's just a keyboard shortcut of that moment. And then I'm trying to get in a better habit of, excuse me, when that instant replay stuff happens, like at the end of the night, go in and rename those files at the end and like name them what they were. So that way when I come back to it, I'm like, oh, there's that clip I was looking for. Like if I can get better at that, then I think my output of shorts maybe at some point in the future, might be 2 per day or something. I don't know. Maybe that's too much. I don't know. Or maybe it's like what you're saying, like I can maybe down the line look at doing a little bit more of a montage in short form, like a mini montages, right?
Yeah. I know you've done some stuff like that before on your channel.
Yeah, I've done the long form montages, which I really enjoy doing, but man, they just take so long to do. I mean, the April 25 one of last year, I mean, that was my first one. Probably took me 14, 16 hours to do. I mean, it's a 15-minute one montage.
Yeah.
And then like the next one, I think maybe took me 12 hours. So I got faster, but it still took a long time. And then it's like you have all of these clips. So like what I would do for the whole month is I took all of the clips, dropped them into the timeline, and then it would be like, oh, hey, all these clips you just dropped in is 4 hours long, and it's like, okay, how do I trim this up to be consumable between anywhere from 15 or 10 to 20 minutes was usually my goal. and then how to trim them up and, show those cool moments or stories. Like that's still one of my favorite snipes right there. Broke the glass, headshot. As he's flying
Nice.
in and as I'm running, that's probably one of my favorite snipes.
Nice.
But like just trying to tell that story and and reduce and tree trim it down, and then usually in my files, like I'll do like a version, work on it for hours, resave it as another version, right? I'll end up with like version 1.1 all the way down to version 1.10 or something, right? Because I've constantly just kind of worked my way down because I don't ever want to delete something until I'm done.
Yeah. And that's definitely a smart thing. I've definitely done that before. Deleted
On
something.
Steel Series, yeah. See, like old Phyllis says on his Steel Series keyboard, he could clip intense moments. And I know there's
Yeah.
tools and applications out there, like you can say keywords that you can set up, or just say clip it, and like it'll do those moments as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's Tat Dan, poor guy. And this is how I met Tat Dan right here. And then I told him, I said, hey, I think I met you on the roof one time, because he should have killed me right here. I should have died right here. I should be dead. Nope.
Dang. All right, that was mean.
You know, and I like I said, I think, like I think all of us want to do cool stuff, make nice thumbnails, make great video edits, but whatever. Like I've told everybody else, I said, just don't. It can be super overwhelming to try to be perfect at everything at every stage of posting content on YouTube. I mean, there's so much there, not just the graphical elements, there's all the uploading stuff that we talked about last time, etc. Like don't be like try to be perfect at everything. Like do a good job at one thing, which to me, like on video editing, is like the how to grab those moments, how to do pre-production trimming, how to cut it, be organized in your files, add names to those moments, etc. And if you can like do that, then I think you can make your process of editing faster. And then when you can do that, then it makes it a lot easier and honestly a lot more enjoyable. If you can work on your process first, then the whole thing about doing this entire thing will be a lot more enjoyable.
Yeah, that's part of the learning process, right? It's like, okay, how do so we've talked about goals, we've established a process, and then now it's like, okay, let's break this down. We kind of covered the next topic I had written down. So we kind of have like a breakdown here of, things to go through, right? With different goals that we talked about. So for you, we talked about views were your goal, right? 250,000 in a year, which you said you hit, right? Just making sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, just double checking. So more content, better content, learning your audience, and then how to make
process.
your video.
Like I said, I mean, like
that.
I said, I mean, I'm almost a year into it, and like I just now fixed my file structure process in DaVinci, right, with all my files that I have, and now it's better organized. The next one is going to be like, and I've done it before, but I probably have to do it again. It's like the assets of all my files, like where do all those live? How am I naming things? How do I find all those things?
Yeah.
I think that's always continuing evolution, but I think, if you can just do that part, it'll make everything easier. And then the good part is if you're already like having a good habit in your process of your file structure on your machine or however you're doing it and grabbing clips, then you start thinking about, okay, like things that I need to make for shorts, videos, how do I, come up with a process to, do those even faster. Like, for all my files that are in DaVinci, it's like, hey, the text location for all this is here, here, and here. If I have an optional third text or line of text that comes in, here it is. But I've hidden it or turned it off. So like in my file structure, I have a lot of things that I turn on and off, but now I don't have to go and recreate something or go back and try to find an old file to like grab things and work from, because everything is already there in my template, file structure. And then if you're using CapCut, and you can do the same similar kind of things. If I think all the other editing software things, you can create folders of your things. You can save out templates, all those kind of things as well.
No, it's great. It sounds like it took you a while to get that process down, as far as putting it together, right?
Yeah, I mean it is, and it's just like an ongoing thing. Like, I mean, I think recently I was like, I tried to change a name or naming structure on some things, but I broke a bunch of my stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, but yeah, I mean, I had to do it because I think like this naming structure of these files were better. Now I just have to like relink them all over again, which is annoying, but I'm like, it makes it easier now when I need to go look for stuff or look for an asset and drop it in. um I think it's just that entire thing.
Oh, thanks for sharing, Rob. So it kind of brings me up to our next point that we want to talk about a little bit. So we've gotten the content right. You're organized. Sounds like you're on top of it. Oh, Shad, no, that we're doing an overview on content creating today. So we're just talking about growing
And
your
process
channel, the
improvement. Yep.
process improvement, how to get more views, content, subs, you name it, whatever your goals may be. So we're just kind of having like a little chat today, Shadno. Uh, anyway, so where was I? Let's see. The next thing I want to bring up is the timing of your content. Um,
For me, or you want to go first?
uh,
Because I know ours is different.
yeah, so depending on your goals and what games you're playing, if you're playing, let's say we got DMZ playing in the background, I don't think the timing's that important, right? Because the game's been out. How long has DMZ been out now? Like 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, I mean it's been a while.
Yeah.
Like I said, I mean, but it's like a little bit smaller community. I mean, I think timing is like the what matters more is like the audience that's going to consume your stuff.
Yep.
And then like I guess I don't know if it's early on or recently, or whatever, but like the timing, how do I say this? The timing of like, say you want to get a bunch of views on your thing, may or may not be the same as the timing that you need to have the proper engagement. And by that I mean, let's say you upload at noon, which for whatever reason my audience algorithm stuff says my stuff is best to upload at noon. That's when everybody, I don't know, supposedly consumes my stuff.
Yeah.
And I've tried it before, but then like my engagement metrics weren't that good. Noon, so then it wouldn't get pushed. I mean, it's been a while. Like the second or the second or third wave of YouTube, like testing out your short, right? And so, like for me, I try to do the 2 hour testing in a 24-hour period just to see where my best pockets were. Try to get that data. I did that for like like a couple of months, and then like for me, I usually upload around, by that I mean between 4 and 6 p.m. Central, which has been the best engagement wise for my metrics. Like it might not be like the biggest spike that I get in views, but it's the better engagement that I get out of them.
So Killer had a question just to show you really quick. Let's see.
What's he got on yours?
Yeah.
Or is he asking?
Yeah, I'll show it. Well, it's on yours.
Oh, been trying to find what time for me. Where do you find that information?
So if you go to your dashboard, and then you go to your audience, you scroll down, and this is going to give you time frames of everything.
Yeah, you're looking for the bright color.
Yeah. So for example,
so yours is around noon or 1 p.m.
Yeah.
Your time.
Which makes sense because that is usually a time I've streamed a lot in the past. So if people are watching, it's
lunch
usually
breaks.
around that. Yep, exactly. And it's based off your time zone as well. So like I'm in LA area, so I'm Pacific Standard Time. So, and as you can see, it's interesting, right? It's almost like a a little valley. Wednesdays like are my lowest views. Thursday, Friday, Saturday it ramps up. Sunday, Mondays are actually really busy for me. So I try to schedule my stuff so it's around those time frames, because I don't want to schedule something, you know, tonight at, let's say, 10 o'clock, because most of my audience is going to be asleep. They're not going to see it until the next day. So it's kind of interesting, you know, depending on which route you want to go with it. But that's where you can find that killer, and it's like it's very useful, depending on how long you've been streaming, and then I think it gives you a breakdown of, you know, where your views are. Let me pull that up. Monthly audience. So this also helps you with, like, okay, so right now I'm averaging about 75,000 views a day, which is
what?
75,000
a day.
No, not 75,000 a day. Sorry, what's that number again? Sorry, I'm misreading it.
I'm like, holy shit.
Oh, monthly audience. Sorry, my monthly audience is 75,000 views. Sorry.
He said 75,000 a day.
Oh, I wish. But you see, it's
to Hollywood.
But it's down. I don't know why. It hasn't given me the analytics from yesterday yet. But right now, it's like I'm kind of doing all right. You know, it's like, obviously, do I want to get more? But it's kind of cool because you can really see, like, okay, so you have to keep in mind the time of year as well. So people are usually home more around the holidays. You're always going to see a spike around the holidays, and that's actually when my channel really started to grow, you know, to jump off. And then right around the New Year's, you know, it came back down.
Exactly, Beard.
And this is actually, it sounds funny too, but I want to say it was like right around September, October. That's when I finally started figuring things out a little bit, because I kind of started this journey, you know, let's see, about last July is when I really started trying to put stuff on here. Let's see, when was my first video? Oh man, I remember I was so happy. I got 12 views on that. I forgot what video that was. But all of a sudden you're like, wow, this is picking up. This is picking up.
Yeah. And then we talked about recently offline is you know, you just never know what video or what short, you know, might hit and take off and get shared, and, you know, you get a lot of subs from, etc., you know, and that's why we talked about before in the past, just that consistency of, you know, whatever you're doing, just kind of like my goal right now.
Man, I remember
I've been on it for the last 30 days now. It's like uploading content every day for the last 30 days, right?
Yeah.
I think I'm trying to aim for doing that 90 days in a row, and then I'll go back and look at all the data and kind of see what happens.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, just uploading, and just, I mean, that becomes like a habit and a pattern for you, but you just never know what kind of content's going to kind of, like, you know, jump and take off.
Yeah, I mean, I think we talked about that a little before. I know, sorry for being repetitive, everyone, from our last stream, but it's interesting. You know, there's certain things that, like, you know, I did this one as a joke to make fun of Rob, because Rob plays Battlefield too much, and it was just a joke, you know, meme video,
with someone
right?
here who
and
has
you know, he's level 404, and I mean, people were going berserk, right? And the 80 comments, people were like, you know, oh, this guy's a sweat, grass not found. You know, it was like, but we talked about it a little bit, right? You could post stuff where it's like, oh, this is like trigger stuff. You know, people were saying, oh, like 2,174. Good news, Rob. There's people that really don't have a life, but it's interesting, right? Because, you know,
those people that are that high aren't playing the game normal. They're doing bot lobby stuff. That's beyond not normal pacing.
And then, you know, I noticed there's certain things that do, for me personally, that, again, just sharing ideas and stuff out there, like, there's stuff that's done really well when I relate it to, like, real life items. You know, it's like, everyone can relate to, you know, if you play Battlefield, everyone can relate to opening up a gun safe and there's only a shotgun in there. Everyone, you know, I'm in my real job, I'm in construction, right? Everyone can relate to having to deal with, you know, OSHA regulations and violations where like this wasn't safe for me to, walk over. So depending on what you want to do or what you're going for, I mean, bottom line, Rob, I just think you gotta have a personality in this business, of creating content, and you got to make it unique and you got to make it your own. Because I hate to say it, anyone could show a clip of me blowing up a tank with an RPG, right? Anyone could show me, I'm just going to call you out. Anyone could show this. By the way, this gun's pretty good, by the way. Anyone could show L110 is, no recoil, right? But this is what made this unique. We're going back to timing, right? I think you came out with this right when Battlefield came out, right?
Yeah, I mean, this was I think I leveled this up to almost level 50 in 2 days of gaming.
See, this is
Yeah,
why he's level 404, by the
didn't.
way.
Yeah, I didn't touch grass. But it was one of the first
Yep.
L110 builds that were out there, so that's why that one like took off. I mean, it's at 53K right now.
Yeah.
But it's still slowly climbing. But yeah, I mean, I think like timing matters, and that's why I go back to the thing about process, file management, organization, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because like when something comes up that's like where you can take advantage of that timing, trying to be as close to, I mean, it'll be hard, almost impossible for most of us, right? But if you can be close to one of the first ones about a specific thing, and you write all the other stuff that we talked about in the first episode, the metadata stuff or whatever, then your likelihood of YouTube pushing you as an authoritative whatever on that subject is a lot higher than you waiting a week later, right?
Yeah.
Even like the one I put, I mean, like the one I put about season 2 leaks on the characters, that the fifth one over or whatever on that short, like that was just an image, and all I did was basically a slideshow of it. But I was like everyone already gets like up in arms about character skins anyway, but then like putting it out there as fast as possible that I could, and then just like asking like, hey, like what do you guys think about these things? I mean, and I put my own thing of like, hey, I think there's a couple of these skins that look like Call of Duty skins, right?
Yeah.
And then that one just like just took off, and I was like, because like I only expect like around 1,200 or 1,500 views on my videos. If it goes more, then it's like then something else happened to make it go more.
Yeah. I mean, you were talking about it a little bit, people like the meme stuff. Like that's, I've noticed that too a lot with my stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
Mindful said, like if you're streaming, and we talked about this, Mindful, about streaming and content creators,
Yeah.
kind of pooling them into two separate areas. Only a few people do a really good job on both. But he said, like if you're getting raids from other creators, I mean, like that helps as
Yep.
well. I haven't. I think I've maybe gotten only like 1 or 2 raids. I would say it helps on people getting to know you and your subscriber count, but like trying to do something also that's outside of that one-time hit to get people to come back and watch your stuff, like your stuff, comment on your stuff, is another one as well. And I think James, we talked about this before. I know I've talked about it. I've tried to bring it up to a couple of other bigger creators than me, but unfortunately, I guess they had a no comment thing going on. Is something that doesn't really get talked about a lot is quote unquote like the networking side.
Yeah.
Right. I think, I don't know what people want to call it, if they want to call it networking, call it being supportive or whatever. But I think if you show genuine support and networking, like not only does that help them out, it helps you out, and it just helps everybody else in like that community aspect. And I think from day one, I feel like I've done probably a really good job of that one, because like someone commented one time, they're like, said, hey, who's this big shot Rob guy? He's like everywhere that I'm at or something. And then now, like when we go and see other streamers or whatever, right? Killer Beard knows, it's like I'm like, hey, I see, Killer Beards over here at Super Sixes or whatever, or I go to someone else's stream and it's like someone else jumps in and I'm like, hey, then that community aspect becomes like that networking type of feature thing as well. Um, and to me, it's like it's not that difficult to support, even if it's a small moment. I mean, because we're all busy. I mean, unfortunately we can't all hang into everyone's live stream
Yeah.
for hours on end, because that's just impossible. But you can show up when you can show up, and they just interact, engage, and then if you got to dip out, you got to dip out. But I don't expect that to always happen for myself, but try to do it for others when I have those free moments. So I think networking is something that doesn't really get talked about, honestly.
No, it doesn't. I mean, like that's how I met you, Rob. I think you commented on one of my things or something, or messaged me. I can't remember. I think you commented on one of my videos. Is that what it was?
I was just stalking you, and that was about it.
Yeah, apparently this guy knows where I live, where I work out. I probably shouldn't post videos of me running around my cul-de-sac with my truck, try to repair it with a blowtorch. So that probably gave away my position a little bit.
Yeah, well, because like what I used to do was, or when other people are streaming,
Yeah.
and whatever game I'm playing, I'm like, hey, like who's streaming DMZ right now, or who's streaming Battlefield, and let me go see. And then sometimes it's fun to see like the bigger creators, but I'm like, okay, well they already have a big support group, right? I'm like, let me go see who's live that has no viewers, one viewer, or whatever. I mean, I won't, and I won't name a certain name, but there used to be someone that didn't have any viewers before on their stream, and I would just be like, always just jump in there and just I would just talk as if there's been like a whole bunch of chat going on, and then that person's like, hey, you're the only one here, dude. I'm like, yeah, maybe for right now I might be number one, but like now that I'm here, somebody else might chime in or come in, and then sure enough, then like other people come. Like it just takes like the algorithm just to get engagement and support from one person for you to get like elevated up above another, and then next thing you know, you have other engagements happening, and then you start going up and up and up and seeing who's live. So I mean, that's how I met a lot of these other folks. Hey Lala, that's how I met like a lot of these other folks. Is like, hey, they were kind of streaming or something, and and then like I've always put it out there. I was like, hey, like if you need help, willing to help you on something. I might, and depending on how busy I am, it might take me a little while. And sometimes if I'm not busy, I'm pretty super responsive, I feel like.
I mean,
and then I just, try to just help someone. Like they're like, hey, can you take a look at this thumbnail? Like does it look okay? Or like, do you have like a quick fix recommendation on something that you'd want to do? And to be like, I would probably use a different font style, or change your font to like this color so it's more readable against their background contrast, or something like that, right? Just something simple just to help out. And like small fixes like that can stack on as they're working on things.
yeah, and think about it this way too. So I just, you guys probably saw in the background, I searched Battlefield 6 live, found this guy that's live right now. I'm using, hey, you might establish a friendship right here, right? It's like you watch their play a little bit. I don't have the volume on, but 69 subscribers, so obviously he's new. It says he's got 3 people watching. It's like you could make this guy's day right now just by liking his stream. Like imagine, I think it's good karma, right? Imagine giving back to someone. Like I remember one of the first people that ever liked or commented my videos that wasn't my wife or my best friends. I was like,
or your dogs, shit. Yeah.
Hey. If they had thumbs, they would be liking all my stuff. But it's like, hey, it's kind of cool, right? And this is what happens too a lot too. It's like you help each other out. It's like first we were the only one watching, and now like 3 or 4 chimed in. They're kind of checking it out. Like the algorithm will see that, and then also like kind of connect you with other people too. And you might run into this guy in a lobby, and you'd be like, "Oh shoot, I saw you streaming." Like you kind of connect that way as well.
Yeah. So you have to think of the algorithm as like a spider web, right? So let's say let's say you subscribe to someone, you like their stuff, and then if I subscribe to someone, like I immediately try to at least hit up 5 of their shorts or something, and like watch through them real quick, and like them, and then like comment them, or and I might comment like some of the same things. Like my comments are usually like, let's effing go or whatever, and then or I'm like, oh, some sick shots that you're doing right there, whatever it might be contextually to that video. But the thing is like that one like on his live stream, that one sub, the multiple likes on his other shorts, right? Immediately, like Google will see that as a benefit for him, but then like your benefit will be like, oh, well, you are liking content based around Battlefield 6 stuff. You're also posting Battlefield 6 stuff. So then like when YouTube is like, hey, this guy is all about engagement around Battlefield 6, when he posts something about Battlefield 6 next time, I'm gonna like show it possibly to this person, right? If he like responds back to you or something, and then it becomes like a spider web of effect of kind of things. And then like honestly, like if you you don't have to go to my stuff, but like my previous Call of Duty stuff, like I wasn't averaging the numbers that I am on Battlefield 6, and of course like 2 different time frames, 2 different kind of gaming audiences, but also my push of stuff that I learned during that time of Call of Duty and DMZ on quote unquote networking has already been heightened. Now as soon as I entered Battlefield 6, I'm doing all of those same practices, right? So I transitioned over from one FPS game completely over to another, and I didn't just maintain my same numbers. Like I grew them on an average of like almost an extra 100%, right, than what my DMZ numbers were. But I already had all of my best practices and habits and networking and all that kind of stuff in place, and I was doing all that stuff now entering Battlefield 6. But that's that same thing though that we talked about. It's about that same process, the same habits, the same consistency.
No, absolutely. Like, sorry, I don't know if you guys heard the volume or not, but I just wanted to use this random as an example. It's just like, he has a monitor to his right, and he's surprised, like, oh shoot, someone commented on my stream. It's like that's how you network. You can make someone's day. It's pretty cool, like gaming community that you could be a part of, right?
Yeah.
As far as like growing, like, by the way, this guy's cracked out. By the way, just throwing it out there. Like I'm watching his movement.
You're doing pretty good.
I'm like, dude, I'm not that good, bro.
And the thing is like, we talk about the support, how you support, whatever, you want to call it networking, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
As long as you go into it with an honest view of doing it with 0 expectations back, right? Like if you have 0 expectations back, then like you won't ever be disappointed. You're doing a good thing. You're doing what you feel is the right thing. Just don't have an expectation back, and just keep going. And then at that point, it's just a numbers game.
Well, and that's a great point to bring up. Don't go with this expectation. Like, I'm not going to comment on this guy. I haven't subbed yet. I want to give him a hard time. Jokingly, like friend.
Let him finish. I mean, let him get.
No, I'm gonna give him friend. If he gets a dub, I'm gonna be like, drop you.
He gets a sub.
Dub
for a sub.
But maybe I should, get the dub. You get a sub. Winky face. So let's I'm just using this as an example.
Or send me his link in Discord.
Yeah, I got you.
Like if he gets a dub, he's gonna get 2 subs.
Yeah. All right, hold on 1 second. But don't go in here. I'm not going in here with the expectation. You brought up a great point, Rob, that I'm not going in here with the expectation that if I sub to this guy, he's going to automatically sub back. That's not the right mentality to have. It's not give or take. It's if you are, it's important to be completely genuine.
When you have expectations, you're gonna put undue pressure on yourself, and you're gonna have disappointments. I was like, for me, I already got enough stresses in my life. I don't need like an extra external disappointment to like be bothering me, right?
Yeah. I remember I was like a
Oh,
couple months ago. I was trying to push for 200 subs, right? And my wife and I were about to go on a camping trip, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do a stream the night before we leave." And I was like, race to 200 subs, and I got a couple, but I fell short, and I was kind of like a little bit bummed on our trip just because I was like, "Dang, like I was hoping to crack 200," and then it just kind of put things in perspective for me while I was on vacation and just kind of disconnected from the internet for a while. I was like, man, why am I worried about this? Like, if it happens, it happens, like, trust the process, right? That everything's going to happen naturally.
yeah,
Like,
for sure.
and just being good about it. And now I'm kind of, let's see,
Yeah,
seven good.
I put it on my thing. I need to put it on the other monitor real quick.
Oh, yeah. This is.
But yeah, he's going.
This is
Where's
a
he
good
at?
game right now. Sorry, I'm caught up a little bit, guys.
He's at 7 kills.
Squad wipe. One team left. Oh, the fire's coming. He's going for the revive. He's got it. Armor up, armor up. Oh, he almost died. Oh, he's pulling him from the fire. What a move.
That's risky.
Oh, he almost burned up.
Behavior.
Oh, his health was at 20%. Lost the key. That's all right. Get out of there. Teammate got out of there. Oh, no.
Okay, well, he's got help.
Uh-oh. I think is he in the gas?
This is awesome.
Oh, he's burning up. You better get... Oh, he's close. You need to heal, bro. Oh, he's right there. Get him. Get him. Oh, no. Oh, come on, teammate. You got a clutch. You got a clutch, bro. Did you get it? Let's see.
I was trying not to run up there because I knew they were going to sit up there. That was a 9 bomb. Nah, you're good, bro. That was great. We were watching live on our streams. Dropping you a sub. Good word. Appreciate it. Sub, good stuff. I appreciate.
Oh yeah, you're welcome.
All right. So, I mean, that's what's kind of cool, right? I mean, hopefully made that guy's day. Shout out to, I think that was XX Mexican. Shout out to him. But, I mean, it goes with that networking.
He just got 2 subs out of there, whatever. So
There, you got second place. I haven't gotten second place in a while. Jeez.
well, he had 9 kills, so
That's more than my whole squad has most of the
more
time.
than you get like all multiplayer, so I understand.
Wow, bro. Wow. Shots fired.
Not even red sec. whole conquest match. That's crazy.
So, Dottie,
What's our next topic?
Dottie,
I'm trying to see anybody else
okay, so
have a question?
yeah,
let me answer a question real
yeah,
quick.
go for
it. Killer Beard. Hey, Killer Beard, I saw the image. So like the only thing I think I mentioned to you before is like in order for you to get that time audience thing a lot more filled in and nailed in, YouTube's just going to need more consistency. I would say if you could do something, upload as much as possible if you can, like over the next 90 days or something, to see what that audience group is. Like, I think they're a little bit behind. I don't think it's all 100% real time, but you're going to just need to be able to give them some data in order to find out when the people are viewing your stuff the most. And like I said, that's just a initial guideline, and I've tried my recommended time frame, to do mine, but it just didn't work out for me from an engagement perspective, so that's why I shifted mine. But it's just one of those things, like, you give it as much data as you can, you test it, you try it, see how you're producing on views, click through, engagement percentages, and then you kind of just work your way from there. And then there's 4, and I think we talked about it before. We can dive into it later on, maybe in another one-on-one or something. But there's basically 4, or technically 5, different kind of slopes for your views, and each slope tells a different story when you're viewing that data. And so those are just things that you have to look at, and you just kind of learn over time as well. And I think I do have like a small snapshot or a little tiny document about the 4 slopes that I can maybe try to send you if I find it, Beard. And so, like, when you see your slopes, you'll understand what's working well and what areas of improvements that you're having to have.
Yeah, so like this was one killer I just did the other day. So this is my click click boom one, right? RPG and infantry. It's like you want to look at your slope. So you get 3 waves typically with your shorts. So usually the first 4 hours is your first wave. You'll get a second wave in the second 12 hours, and then 24 hours, that's when YouTube's going to decide, hey, I want to share this with more people, or you know what, people didn't really like it
But
because
let's look at your engagement though. Like your
yeah,
engagement matters a ton on
yeah,
how your views function. So if you can
yep.
go on the where it says how your viewers engage, the see more, it's on the right side. Click on the see more one. Go up one.
Whoops.
Go up more. You're right above it. It says how viewers engage on the right side.
Got it. Thank you.
I click on that one. Okay, so let me. Does it have? It doesn't tell you like the percentages that change over time. Okay. So as you're watching your stuff,
I'll go to an older
that's
one.
okay. If you as you're watching your stuff in like YouTube Studios as the like shorts are one different thing versus like videos and live streams. But regarding shorts, if people are watching your stuff, like 70% are watching and staying to watch it, like that short 99% of the time is really going to take off. And if it holds anywhere between like 60 and 70%, like it's just going to continue to grow and hit all the different tiers and testing waves that YouTube does. Like when it starts falling off is like when it goes to like the wrong audience group, and like let's say you have like 30% stayed and watched my stuff but 70% didn't, then that's when you're gonna like have a harder time for that specific short to grow. And then the only way, like even my stuff, like unfortunately, like if you look at the last 2 stuff that I have on mine, like my engagement stuff was around 30 or 40% stayed and watched it. And the only reason that it's like climbing steadily is because of the metadata that I have into my stuff. Like the last 2 that I did, like you could like, I mean, it's taking a while for them to like really climb to those numbers. And I already looked at the data and I was like, okay, like the people that stayed to try to watch it either went to the wrong audience group or it didn't capture the hook enough, etc. So then those viewers, like I'll be lucky if those things reach 1,000 at all. It might take like 2 weeks for them to get to 1,000. But I already know like what happened, why, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, no problem. We just keep moving forward.
Yeah, and that's something we talked about a little bit on our previous stream killer, was like, making sure you got the keywords. This was something I learned about last time, what category, the game. You want to make sure you put a lot of the stuff could be automated in your settings, but making sure that you put the right stuff in here to make sure it's like, okay, I know this is a meme video. I know I want to hit Battlefield 6 audience. Yeah. BF6 is short. This has to do with season 2. There was an update. It's a phase map. It kind of, and the less you have, the better, because it's going to be a more targeted audience. And then that's where this one was able to do what it was able to do.
And the easiest way to think about it is like when you have to go on YouTube to maybe like find something, or you want to look for something, like you're putting whatever keywords into the search and you're looking for something. I mean, like for me recently, like my washing machine died, right? I'm like, hey, like how do I replace like the control board on my washing machine, right? Like if I type that in and I get like, say, a dryer comes up or something like that, and I accidentally clicked on it, I'm gonna like exit out real quick because I'm like, a dryer, I'm looking for washing machine, and so like I opened up the video, I bailed out of it real quick. Well, that person's gonna get a bad hit on his algorithm and his analytics, because he must have put washer and dryer or something as a keyword or something like that, and it brought me to his, and it wasn't the right contextual thing for me to find. So like when you're looking at your own stuff, you have to like be like thinking, okay, like what what words or word phrases or that I need to put to make sure that they're coming to my specific video, and then you know, and then you want to start with like a general thing like Battlefield 6, BF6, Season 2, whatever those might be. Then you drill down into like something like super specific, and then then that'll help you out to make sure you get the right audience to your stuff, and then the likelihood that if they click on it, they're going to stay longer, which helps your video and your analytics. Like to me, like that's the easiest way to look at it.
Yeah, that's the key killer. You want to
Exactly.
think like the viewer.
100%.
Like I just typed in, I knew this was going to come up because I think we did it before, like best L110 build Battlefield 6. Oh, what do you know? Big Shot Rob's short is right there. You know? Like think if you were YouTube is very DIY, right? Or very informational. So use that to your advantage, right? Like what do you YouTube? Like I YouTube how to work on my truck. Okay, so I'm a gaming content creator. I play Battlefield. What build do I like to use right now? Like that a lot of YouTubers, though, but keep in mind, a lot of YouTubers use those type of shorts. Am I right, Rob? Like, if I type in, my favorite SMG in the game, Rob hates this one, which is kind of funny. I think it's murdering. Best SGX build.
Yeah, I mean, for gun builds, there's like several certain phrases and keywords that a lot of people search for certain things. But I'll give you another example. Someone else completely different type of gaming, different genre, etc.
Yep.
But his game is more mission based, right? Like how to or not how to, because that's the answer I gave him, but he has to fight like these big bosses or whatever in order to get past this level for like a mission, right?
Yep.
And so I told him, I said, hey, why don't you create videos titled, hey, how to beat the enemy's name, whatever that is, in whatever the game name is, right? Because then it's like, because look at that. Just even before you wrote the whole thing, how to beat whatever, there's so many things that are already there. And so like you're already gonna like right there on how to beat how to survive in whatever, like that, and you can use the search bar and the search suggested results as title like recommendation that you can like lean towards, right? And you can tweak it from there, but like as soon as someone searches for those terms, that's the right audience, and then they're going to stay and watch your stuff if and when they find your stuff, right? So everything else comes into play with all the other stuff that we talked about before.
I mean, that's what's pretty cool, right? This is something that
because I used to do a whole series on DMZ. I had a how to do this, how to do that, and I was like, oh, these are cool.
So I actually have a couple videos I'm working on. I don't want to give any spoilers or anything, but there is something you can also do. I'll let you guys know maybe on the next one when it does it. But where'd it go? It's that inspiration tab. You know what I'm talking about, Rob?
Yeah, I mean, they give you some good suggestions on the inspiration ones, but they're just not to my brand.
Yeah, so like, but it does kind of help you. Where is it? Is it customization? I can't remember. Usually it's right here.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know that got blocked. Thanks, Rob. Don't listen to what Rob says about copyright songs.
Yeah. Exactly, whatever.
But it's interesting that video is not doing anything today. Analytics, community, inspiration, there it is. But this is just AI trying to show you, okay, based off what you've been doing, you can click on stuff like this. The ultimate Battlefield 6 experiment, can C5 make a tank fly?
Well, yeah, like well, some of it is like what you're doing, but also some of it is other people that are like posting or searching for those kind of things too.
Yeah. And it gives the idea, right, where, if I go here, thanks, Killer Beard, thanks, Big Smiley, for the subs. I know there's somewhere it shows you what your subs are watching, right? Is it analytics?
I know
there's somewhere that tells you what people watch. Oh, there you go. So this is something I learned about. So these are people like channels your audience watches, right? It gives you an idea of like, okay, like I know I play Helldivers and I have Helldivers subs, right? War Thunder, I think I know a couple guys that play that because they play Helldivers and I met them. But it kind of gives you an idea of like, okay, so you're looking for inspiration, right? Which kind of goes into our next topic, like what are you looking for your channel? And this kind of gives you an idea of like, okay, so I'm just using this one as an example. So he plays Helldivers, so that's why, you know, people watch him. But it gives you some ideas of like, okay, I'm curious what yours has, Rob.
Yeah.
But gives you
And
different
some of those-
ideas.
Yeah, and some of those folks like might pop up too at the end of your videos too. Are you doing any A/B testing on your stuff? Have you seen that feature?
Yeah, I have been doing that a little bit. Thanks for the sub, Old Phyllis. Appreciate you, brother. I'll drop you one as well. I think I had. Did I sub to you? I gotta drop Old Phyllis a sub really quick. All right.
Old Phyllis, you need to tell Old Phyllis to lay off the caffeine.
Oh shoot.
That dude.
That dude's
that
hyped
dude
up.
Drinking. He's hyped up and runs into propane pipelines, man, and tries to blow everybody up.
Oh my gosh. We got a kamikaze, huh?
He thinks he's on he thinks he's like Hank Hill or something. I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's what's cool, right? I mean, you know, we just talked about networking. I mean, I'm networking with you, which helped me meet Old Phyllis. I think that's how I met Killer Beard. And One Hander, just a shout out to him. Like, there's a lot of different ways to network and grow your subs, right?
I'm like, here's the king right here. BBK is the king right here.
You just said I'm drinking a monster, propane.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, BBK just passed 6 million views on his channel.
Oh, no way. Congrats, BBK. Yeah, I'm going to have to pull him up, too.
Like, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, BBK's got a lot of stuff going fast. Fast. It's at BBK Jump.
There he is. The man, the myth, the legend.
Hit that sub button. There you go.
I got you, BBK.
So,
boom.
Yeah, like look if you click on his post or whatever, I think he just put like yesterday or today, 6 million. Yeah, yesterday. There it is. 6 million views.
Nice.
There you go, BBK. Yeah. Yeah, but and I don't know. Like I said, I think we talked about it before. The networking thing. I think if you ask some folks just thoughts on certain things or this and that, I've come across more people that have been open and helpful on things for sure. Other folks have tossed some suggestions. I try some things out here and there, and then I think you just see how it goes. Ultimately, like we talked about the first episode, we'll always probably talk about it in every episode is experimentation, trial and error, learn and move, and just go from there and just have fun with the entire process.
I agree. It's funny. We're kind of again. We wrote down a script together. We kind of talked about a lot of stuff. Hold on. I need to catch up where we're at. We already covered a lot of this stuff. Sorry, Rob. Bear with me for a second. Let's see. Any questions in the chat? Oh, thanks, BBK. Appreciate you guys.
No questions. Thanks, brother. Thanks, BBK. Let's take a look here. I don't see any other questions.
Okay, let's see.
Earlier, Mindful said. Like subs and hours.
We started diving into a little bit. I think we might have had a question. I wanted to, since we're both playing Battlefield, we talked about schedule of releases a little bit. Can you talk about the importance of a timed release when it comes to content being available? So, for example, the one I want to use with you is the Battlefield 6 or Season 2 content release schedule. Can you talk a little bit about the importance of getting content in regards to like a release on a game, or a season release, or a Battlefield Pass release? Can you touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, and I'll just, like I said, talk about it from my perspective. Because like there's different. You have to find whatever your voice is, right? There's different voices out there. Like if we talk about Season 2, you can see Season 2 rage bait content, Season 2 clickbaity kind of content, then you have, the crazy fan whatever kind of, folks on it. Like for me, I try to be like Switzerland, just kind of neutral. But like for me, like I focused on, as soon as like the season 2 content dropped, right? I kind of sectioned off, the first phase, second phase, third phase. Just, I highlighted just kind of the overall summary, when it drops.
The
and then I went back in and made like, smaller shorts on, things, areas that I kind of like questioned, but I always came from like a place of like curiosity. So my voice and tone is just kind of like that steady neutral kind of thing. And then it's just more about like, for me, asking the community, hey, like, what's your thoughts? Like, what's your thoughts on this skin? Like, hey, do you think this is, outside of Battlefield's, kind of realm on this? Or, the little bird, right? We talked about it. I mean, I just gave my perspective. I didn't like rage bait it.
Hey, don't hate on the little bird. Don't hate on the little bird.
I think the little bird is kind of OP, right? Because that was my first experience on the map, being with 2 cracked pilots that was, killing everyone. But I just asked the community, but I gave my perspective, and it was like more of a, neutral perspective, but it wasn't like that. But then now it's funny, because then now I'm using the little bird in the red sec and just smashing people with it like a fly, right?
Well.
It's funny how it all comes kind of around. But like I said, like once you find your voice or whatever that is, like, then you just kind of like stick to it. And I think the information and your presentment will follow it naturally.
Yeah. No, that's a great point, because I mean, something I know I've tried to do is, because you're trying to target, I just clicked into this chat, Battlefield Season 2, Rage Bait, and I think that's something you've done a really good job of, Rob, is, you got the 3rd top short on here, even though it doesn't have the most views, but whatever you did as far as your, look, another one, whatever you did as far as putting the information in there in order to get that, it worked. Do you mind talking about that a little bit?
Yeah, so like it's just the information, right, that I found online, and then I found like a couple of the different sources that were releasing on it, and then I would just summarize that content, either doing the voiceover or the description kind of stuff on it, and then just like I said, just sharing that out. These were 2 specific directions, the one that you're showing here, but both around the character skins. Let me say. Cool. Thanks, Beard, for being here. Appreciate you. Hit me up if you need anything else. Yeah, I don't know. Other than that, James, if there's any other direction to give on that one.
Oh no, you're good. I just wanted to kind of hear you chime in on that a little bit. Sorry, I was getting some water.
Yeah, well, I wanted that. I wanted so he, like, because I know BBK just put something in the chat, and he said, well, Battlefield just laid off half the dev team, right? So then, like right now, like we talked about, like what kind of voice and stuff that you want to have in the community, and there's this like kind of, however you want to kind of approach it, right? So like if I was doing my next video regarding the devs, I would probably do something similar. I mean, I don't have all the background that Hannibal has or whatever, but like doing like the research that he did around, why there's the layoffs and all that kind of stuff. And it, a lot of people that you see the content that's out there is like, oh, they'll be like, Battlefield's dying, that's why they laid off, all these devs, blah blah blah, going on out there. I'm like, and Hannibal did a great video today, 45-minute one, and he's like, well, let's slow down, let's take a look at everything. I'm summarizing, but like he's like, they're going still through a whole buyout process. It's a business decision, clear numbers off the books. Earlier this year, several months before Battlefield 6 even released, EA laid off devs also before then, but like none of these other content places are even talking about that, right? They're talking about right now. I'm like, so you're not talking about like when they, are doing like these deals and stuff. You have to clear numbers off the books and get alignment and all that kind of stuff to show, more profitability, all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's a business thing. And then a lot of people saying, oh, Battlefield's dying, all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, have you gone and looked at the monthly averages for all the other Battlefields that you say you love and stuff, and look at, if you want to use the same Steam charts, and then go do that. And then you can see like Battlefield 6's numbers on a monthly average are just as good or better than the ones that were there before, when you compare it. So I'm like, I was like, if you want to say Battlefield 6 is dying because like it's down 90% from launch, well, they put a crap ton of money into marketing, hiring all these influencers and all that kind of stuff. And if you've been in the business before, you understand like degradation of audience growth or visibility like slopes down a ton when you front end load it with marketing dollars, and having like ad rev, influencer rev, all that kind of stuff. All those numbers aren't going to stay like they were at the very beginning. They're going to come down, so it's like information is like half sometimes given out there. And like I said, we talked about, the voice and tone or whatever you want for your channel or anything like that. That's like I don't want to go that direction. I don't even want to go as a back and forth kind of thing like that. It's just like let's take a look at some apple to apple numbers over a period of time, and then if you want to look at the map counts and all that kind of stuff, well, we're on pace for an entire year for Battlefield 6 to similar map numbers as premium DLC ones for other previous Battlefield titles as well. So I just, a part of me, like, I'm trying to figure out, like, I don't understand where a lot of the stuff comes from, but then I'm like, that's not my voice or my lane. But like we all just have to take a quick research, however you want to do it, and just kind of have an open mind about it. When someone has a perspective on one side or another, at least you listen and kind of do your own research numbers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of pulling this stuff up in the background. Everyone's saying it's dying. So Battlefield 1 was actually when I hopped on the Battlefield wagon. Again, grew up on Call of Duty and, Halo Heart, but switched to Battlefield 1 when I think they tried to come out with I think it was Infinite Warfare at the time. And, 50, like, people were like, man, this is huge, right? 100%
and
fair. I think
they do got to step up.
I forgot when this game came out. But
but you'll have to look. But like when you look at these older titles, though, like I would do like the same kind of thing. Like say, hey, like look at the Battlefield numbers from launch, and then like the next 12 months after launch, right? What were their numbers? You know what I mean? And then like then you compare like a same time frame to Battlefield 6, etc. And then the other part that says to me, like, if the game was truly dying, and sometimes you get the screen where you says like it puts you in a queue. Well, the reason it's putting you in a queue is because they have to spin up another server right now, because they're not going to always have all these servers just sitting there available. They have kind of like, they see what their averages are, and then they have those allotted number of servers, and then it's like, oh, now that you're in a queue, they have to spin up another one to bring in X amount of number of people that can jump on. I mean, because like these are just normal kind of things. And I'll give you another example. I know BBK mentioned something about the best opening launch, and like I said about marketing dollars like spent and stuff. So when we first started a furniture business, it's gonna sound crazy, but I believe we were spending I'm gonna say we were spending close to like I think it was like several $100,000 a month on marketing, like Google ad dollars and stuff. And this was outside of commercials and everything. But like I mean, that's just to get like people into the door, and like, and then unless business, picks up, it's like you can't keep those same kind of numbers going. Like you get to a point where it kind of like flatlines, and it's like, okay, well, now, people know or whatever, and this is like kind of our average. Then like the dollars go down and things kind of like settle. But like it's a similar thing to, marketing for some other stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's a great point. Like, obviously, there's a lot of factors you have to consider also with the game dying. Like, I brought up the Arc Raiders, chart. So, Arc Raiders took off. It's a max. It was at 481,000, right? And their numbers have been slowly declining. So, is Arc Raiders dying?
I mean, there's like,
throwing it out there. It's like it's hard because people are saying
games will go down.
Yeah, it's just the hype disappears. In my opinion, I see the market flooded with certain games sometimes because they're popular, and that's usually what happens. It's part of life, right? You go through phases, just like games. They go through phases. There's some games that have that nostalgia draw to them. Like, I follow a streamer. He still does Modern Warfare 2, getting nukes. And I'll always watch his stuff because that's what I grew up on. But there's always going to be that flow that goes through ups and downs. Like, there's going to be new games that come out in the fall like they always do. I might hop on those and be away from Battlefield 6. You just never know because, BBK brings up a great point. GTA 6 is going to kill a lot of player count. It's probably going to kill everyone's. I'm probably going to hop on that, dude. And I haven't played Grand Theft Auto. I played a little bit of 5 for a little bit because my friends were playing it, but yeah, it's like I was obsessed with Vice City back in the day.
Even like for me, like, because it's not a first-person shooter, right?
Yeah.
It's third person?
Yeah, third person for Ark, or you talk about GTA?
GTA.
Yeah, it's third person.
Ark is third person too.
Yeah, and that's one thing. I'm more of a fan of first person.
GTA, I've never played it before, but I'm willing to give it a try, and I'm gonna see how it goes, and like just try to play it for a little bit, because like just like you said, other buddies are playing it, and then I'm gonna play it just to see how I like it, and then I'm just gonna go from there. Like I'm willing to check it out and test it out. That's for sure.
I did read something interesting the other day, and again, this is where things, in my opinion, have changed, right? I don't know how accurate it was. Someone released an article on it, which I thought was kind of interesting. So, Battlefield 1, that's what they were talking about. It was one of the most successful games in the franchise. It was a game of its own. So, launch was October 2016. Same time frame as Battlefield 6, 9 maps came out. In December, you got 1 map. In March, you got 4 maps, and it was a battle pass. I think you had to pay for that at the time. In June, you got 1 map. And then people were pissed off. September, they came out with 6 maps, and then they did 4 maps, and they did keep coming out with maps for the game.
Okay, yeah, so how many, add it up real quick. So launch to September, how many maps is that? 10, 14, 15, 21 maps.
Yeah.
Right. So Battlefield 6 is on pace for 24 maps, I believe, in a year's time.
As of now, where we're at, or?
Yeah, I think we're on pace for 24 maps.
So it's increasing to 12 right now.
See?
Yeah. So we're on the same pace right now, but people are losing their minds.
And we got
Battle Royale. Yep.
And which is a topic that I'm actually covering. I mean, I guess I could push it out whenever because I've already done the video.
I'm stealing it.
Like limited time modes as well.
Yeah.
The limited time modes. Yeah, technically it's not another map, but it's not another variation of the map. It's another experience of it, etc. I mean, so it's content, and then they also put limited time modes as well as like for learning experiences, for the devs. I mean, I think now even the winter type map, every once in a while we get the Winter Empire map, right? Yep. I think it's still out there. So the one that's dropping next week, Nightfall, the night vision one, yep, which is gonna be
the blog post that we had dropped last night.
I think it's gonna be fun and crazy. You
I don't
know,
know. I played a night vision game on Black Ops.
that's a limited
a
time
struggle.
mode alongside a brand new map,
Yeah.
which is going to be a freaking, you know, bloodbath in that tiny base area or whatever. But technically you get one map, but you get two different experiences of it.
Yeah, and I think this is where it kind of goes back is riding the wave as a content creator, right? Like I have 10 shorts I'm making based off the new phase that's coming out. I pretty much have them almost all pre-made, and then I'll have them scheduled to release next week when the new season comes out, just because it's good to kind of ride these waves, because you could kind of get stuff out there to kind of get some, you know, I like how the views kind of get out there a little bit, and it kind of gets more informational on the channel, and that's where you can, you know, you ride these waves no matter what game they are. GTA 6 coming out, people are going to ride that. A lot of people are riding the Arc Raiders wave, Battlefield. I know a lot of people still play Black Ops 7,
And we all have different ways that you can ride that wave.
Yep.
Right? Like for yours, you're banking on people searching for, hey, Battlefield Season 2, Phase 2, right?
Yep.
Nightfall, those keywords, etc. Like I ride the wave of, you know, now that I kind of have it there in place a little bit, you know, as soon as Battlefield drops the next trailer, like I plan on dropping my version of an edit of that trailer. My goal is to do it the same day, at the very minimum, the very next day.
Yep.
Right. So like I ride that variation of that same wave in just a different format.
Yep. Oh, that's a great point right there.
Yeah. So I mentioned to you in Discord, I've got 7 minutes, bro.
No, you're good. So we'll kind of start trying to wrap this up, you guys. I know we've been talking for a little bit. I'm on.
Yeah, I was hoping to get some more questions. I mean, if people can always ping us offline or whatever if they have questions, and then we can address them one-on-one or the next one. I mean, I think, I mean, Killer said, and some other folks have said, you know, share some good information, perspective, and always happy to have these conversations and engagement in chat as well. And yeah, I think the GTA comment thing, the other external factors that they might be doing with GTA 6 is going to be, should be unlike any other things. And
yeah, absolutely. And like, it's interesting, you know, just there's always stuff going on outside just whatever game you're streaming on your channel or what you're focusing on. And that's why, you know, sometimes just like life, you kind of have to be flexible a little bit, you know, or hey, if you love doing it, keep doing what you love doing. I mean, as far as, so our kind of goal for this was kind of talking about, you know, growing views, growing subs. I know we talked about a lot of that. So I
think the next topic or whatever, since this, or the next one or two topics, I know one of the things I can cover or help big discussion point as we jot it down would be what my year 2 goals are. And just kind of like, you know, let people know, and then I'll, you know, share with what my thoughts on how I'm attacking those next year 2 goals, and then, you know, hopefully that helps out some other folks, you know, that might be out there as well.
Yeah, because we covered a lot today. I mean, there was something that you said, I think I wrote down, was your shorts are appetizers, which help get you views, not necessarily subs. Your long format, you want to have something long format on there, because that's like your dinner. Because if people like your shorts and they want to see more, you know, dinner and live, you know, dinner will get you in there. Your live stream is kind of desserts. You know, people are going to come in there and really, you know, tune in and see what's going on.
Yeah, because for sure. Because like, your shorts are just the quick hit, you know, fun stuff. You know, like when I go to people's stuff and I see the long form content, depending on the context of it, you know, usually I watch or I listen to it, and, you know, for their growth, you know, they're looking at, you know, increasing the average number of viewer minutes on theirs, right?
Yep.
And then we talked about the streamers, right? That's like the third kind of thing, those that stream and engage and etc.
Yep.
You know, I think each of them all have different kind of, you know, growth factors as well. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, no matter which of those three that you do or specialize in, you got to think about like, yeah, what's going to be making people like come back, or if they see a notification for my stuff, are they going to come and click it? You know?
Yep.
I think Ferdy and some other folks said it earlier, like on my stuff, like I mean, which was very nice of them. I said, you know, they said they look forward to seeing my shorts that you know kind of come across. And then I'm like, okay, well, I'm like, damn it, now I got to figure out how to up that game a little bit.
Exactly. So that's kind of what we're leaving our audience with, you know. Enjoy the ride, you know, take each short and video one at a time. Don't stress about it, you know. If it's video sucks, it sucks. Like my video sucks today, but if it's good, it's good. But you know, try to look at why and don't beat yourself up over it and don't overwork yourself.
Progression, make progress, not perfection.
Oh, I like that. We'll write that down.
Get a tattoo, whatever you want.
I don't know about that.
Man,
I don't know if the
man.
wife will approve that. Yeah. That's pretty much. It's funny. We had this script written out, and we pretty much. I've been looking at it. We pretty much covered everything that was on here that we wanted to cover today.
Yeah, I mean it's just natural fitting. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got, man. Appreciate everybody that came in, all the chats, all the likes, thumbs up. Anybody that has questions, drop comments into our stuff or DM us, and we will try to make an episode 3. And then maybe in episode 3, maybe we bring someone else in, James.
Dude, that'd be fun. Yeah, if anyone wants to come back in or be a special guest, I mean, even BBK Jump. I mean, shoot, look at your profile.
Yeah,
you could tell us how you freaking.
we got to get to his level.
Yeah.
Now we know. And we know what. Now we know the
yeah,
goal,
Mr. 12,000. Maybe that's what I have to do. These big eyeballs on my thumbnails. That's not a bad idea. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, great, love you guys.
I gotta run. Appreciate everybody.
Appreciate everyone.
Thanks, James.
Thank you, Rob. As always, stay legendary, and we'll see you in the next one.
Sounds good. We'll see y'all.
Take care.